Welcome back. My name is Reagan Prescator. I'm a sales representative at Royal LePage Performance Realty and a buyer's agent at Schurter and Associates Ottawa Real Estate Team.
And I'm Michael Schurter, real estate broker at Royal LePage Performance Realty and team lead here at Schurter Associates.
So today we're going to continue on our discussion in the previous episodes where we talked about the process of purchasing a home, and we're going to talk about some of the people that are involved in your purchase. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you'll need all of these people during the purchase of your home, but we want to go through some of the key players. So we're going to start with mortgage brokers and banks. Michael?
So your mortgage broker, your bank play a key role. They have through 2020 and they will look like they will into 2021, especially as we're going in with a hot seller's market and doing a lot of deals that are more unconditional. So working with these professionals is going to ensure not only that you're pre-approved for a mortgage, but that you're approved for a mortgage based on the home and the offer that we're making on that day. And so these people play a key role in making sure that you're able to afford the offer that we're writing unconditionally.
Right. So another key player is a lawyer. Michael, why is a lawyer important in a deal?
So the lawyer's job is to finish out the agreement after it's been made with the real estate agent. And even if you're buying a condo, the lawyer is going to be reviewing the status certificate, which is essentially the financial documents for the corporation, and letting us know that there are no red flags there, no good reasons why you shouldn't be buying into the corporation. And then once the conditions are removed, once that deal is firm and you know you're purchasing the home, the lawyer is going to be the one that makes sure that the title's clean, that the transfer happens seamlessly, that the financing gets from the underwriter to the buyer to the seller, and they make sure that everything happens appropriately on closing day.
So something that you'll need when you purchase a home is insurance. So Michael, what's the role of an insurance broker?
So an insurance broker's role has really amped up lately too, because normally we would deal with insurance after we've made an agreement. But since we're not able to have conditions or a conditional period if we're making an unconditional offer, we've been relying on insurance brokers to confirm for us that we can get insurance on the property that we're bidding on, because we know we're going to need insurance in order to get the mortgage forwarded by the underwriter and in order for you to be secure in your purchase.
So someone that we talked about in our last episode was a home inspector. So Michael, what role would a home inspector play in the current market?
So we're seeing our home inspectors more and more lately, and one of the reasons for that is that we're doing home inspections before we're bidding on homes. If you do find a home that you want to make a bid on and you want to make your offer unconditional so you can be competitive in the seller's market, then we're going to be seeing the home inspector before we write the offer, just to ensure that the home is valuable, that there's no problems with it, and that we know what we're getting into when we write that offer. So doing those home inspections before we write an offer has really been the change that we've been seeing through 2020 and into 2021.
That's right. And another type of inspection that you may require on your home is a pool inspector. So Michael, how is a pool inspector different from a home inspector?
Well, they're more specialized, where a home inspector is a generalist. The pool inspector comes out and double checks that large asset in your backyard. And they're there to make sure that you're not going to walk into a $20,000, $30,000 problem or have an erosion issue or a problem with your pool heater. So we're relying on them to come out and just be kind of more of a specialist than the generic home inspector.
Right. So we talked about a mortgage broker before, but there's a couple other players that come in when it's time to get your mortgage. So Michael, let's talk about mortgage underwriters and mortgage insurers.
Yeah. The underwriter is the person that actually forwards the money for your loan. So they're the ones that are making the investment in your house, in you, in the interest that you're going to pay over the next number of years. And so they're involved in the process because, as the people with the money, they're essentially setting the terms of to release that money. So they may say you might need a WETT inspection. They want to make sure that that home is looked after. They want to make sure that they have a good asset that they're loaning on. And with that, if you have less than a 20% down payment, you do need to have a mortgage insurer. And so they're the people that, again, are insuring the underwriter's investment. And so they're going to also want to make sure that the home is worth what you've paid for it, that the home is in good condition, that it's livable, and that it's a good asset for them to be backing.
So speaking of assets, Michael, let's talk about surveyors and appraisers and how they're important when it comes to the valuation of your home.
Yeah. So the appraiser is the person that works on behalf of the underwriter to ensure that, say, the home you spent 900,000 on isn't actually only worth 800,000 and you spent way more than you should have because you were trying to compete in a multiple offer situation. So the underwriter really relies on them to approve the value that you paid for that home. And the surveyor's job is to make sure that the home is what was sold to you, that to define the outlines of the home, make sure there's no easements, and make sure that you know exactly what it is you purchased.
Now, when it comes to rural properties, there are certain other professionals that you may want to bring in. So, Michael, let's talk about water, well, and septic professionals.
Yes. So we're getting a water test on any property that has a well, and we're taking it down to a laboratory that checks it for E. coli and makes sure there's no other problems with the water system there. We're also checking the well to make sure the well has the capacity to ensure that you always have water in that home, that it has the right refill rate or flow rate to make sure that you can run your shower and your hot water tank and everything at the same time. We're also looking at the septic because the septic needs to be able to handle the capacity that your family is going to put on it as well. So we're making sure that it's in good condition. We're making sure there's not a giant repair that needs to be made. We're making sure that all the runs are working, and essentially preventing you from having an $8,000 plus problem down the road.
That's right. So, in certain older homes, there are types of inspectors that you may need, including WETT inspectors, ESAs, and asbestos abatement. So, Michael, what does that mean if I want to purchase an older home?
Yeah. So a WETT certificate tells the owner of the home that the fireplace, the wood burning fireplace, is safe to use. And a lot of times, if you have a wood burning fireplace, this is actually a condition of your mortgage being forwarded, that they have a WETT certificate to say that this is all in good working order. An ESA is done by an electrician, and a lot of times, again, with older homes, especially if you have a knob and tube wiring system or you have aluminum wiring, or even if there's a concern that's pointed out by the home inspector, we're going to bring in an electrical professional to double check everything for us. And also, if you have an older home, there's potential you might have asbestos containing material. And that's something that a home inspector is not qualified to say is asbestos, but they can say that might be asbestos. And so we bring in an asbestos abatement professional to review the situation, to maybe take a test, or to let you know about like a likelihood of asbestos in the property.
Thanks, Michael. So that wraps up our discussion on the professionals involved in the purchase of your home. We hope this answers some of your questions, but you have any more, please feel free to leave us a comment below and we'd be happy to answer.
Thanks. See you next time.
Bye.